Hello and welcome to the Paul Santo Show. As you know, this is the place where we highlight the talented, the interesting, and the entertaining. We have plenty of that tonight. We are talking music with a man who plays a mean saxophone. Coming up in a moment, Mr. Pat Loomis. Also, a return visit from the one and only NB Rude Boys. Hey, wait a minute. I'm just looking around over here. I don't see Chops Turner. Chops isn't here? Hey, Chops. Hello, Chops. Is that you?
Yeah, man. What's up, Paul?
What are you doing? Are you on your way down here?
Chops. No, man. I told you I'll be in New Hampshire. I'm now in New Hampshire, down with the mountains, man.
Oh, man, New Hampshire. It doesn't look like you're going to make it. Hey, Chops, I just want to ask you, you're not leaving me, are you?
Never going to leave you, man. You know that, brother.
Hey, Chops. Is it someone else? All right, man. All right, you're going to be back here next week, right?
I'll be there next Monday. I'll be there. Tell the Root Boys and who else is there?
Pat Loomis.
Chops! And Pat Loomis. Tell my said break a leg, man.
Hey, man, they miss you. They were like, where's Chops, you know?
Chops. Man. Tell them I'm down in New Hampshire, man.
All right. All right, Chops, we'll see you next week. Thank you. All right, man, I'll tell you right there. There he is. All right, well, let's get into the news here, the monologue. I just want to tell the Rude Boys, you know, a lot of times if I have, like, young kids here as guests, I have to, like, tone it down. But then when I figure the Rude Boys are coming here, and I have to tone anything down. All right, let's get into the news here. You know, a man was charged with shoplifting from an adult store in Vegas. This is a true story. He left with a man's private part that was about 3 feet long. Can you believe that? This is a true story. It was actually called Moby. You know, this is a terrible thing. This is a terrible, terrible thing. Thankfully, they're prosecuting this man to the fullest extent of the law. They're throwing the full penal code at him, as a matter of fact. All right, well, you know, in Fall River, we like to get our Fall River news into. Police investigated an incident, terrible incident, where nails were discovered in hot dogs. I mean, why would anybody do that as a prank? Nails in hot dogs? I mean, the whole time you thought you were getting a juicy wiener, but instead you were getting a foot-long stiff. Just a terrible, terrible thing. Hold the mustard, give me the Vaseline. You know, we want to do some public service stuff here, too. We can't be silly all the time, you know. As a public service, I just wanted to remind everyone that, you know, when you're wearing your mask, you're out in public, you know, make sure you always wear a mask. But when you do, make sure you don't touch your face with your fingers. Yeah, while you're at it, get your thumb out of your ass while you're at it. You know, that's why it's not the NB Polite Boys, it's the NB Rude Boys. Yeah. All right, one more. You know, Boston Dynamics has introduced some new robots that look like dogs. Take a look at these things. I mean, these things are scary. Look at that. Oh, my God. They're actually going to do, like, raids with the police and stuff like that. But, you know, if it gets into the wrong hands, that could be really ugly. I think they're scary. Now, I have a question. What happens when these things turn on the humans? What happens when they tell us to roll over? I don't think it's going to be good, you know? It's going to be a regular cyborg Shadis. Look at that thing. It's going to be Robot Rambo time. As we said, our first guest tonight is a magician with the sax, accompanied by another magician with the keyboards, Mr. Jim Dower. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Pat Loomis. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Pat Loomis and the NBC Orchestra. That's what we need. We need that here.
We need the band. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, hey, that sounds great, man. You know, you were playing at Patriot Place the other day, and we took a ride up there, and we were walking around. It was a beautiful night,
Yeah, it
like
was.
75 degrees, and you and Joaquin Santos,
Yeah,
our friend right
Joaquin.
here, yeah,
What up, Joaquin?
from New Bedford over here. He was playing, and
Yeah.
hey, really enjoyed it. Really
Hey,
enjoyed
man,
it.
thanks for coming. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really a lot of fun. So tell me a little bit about yourself. You're not a New Bedford guy, right?
No, I'm not. I've lived in Boston for the past 32 years. I'm originally from Seattle, Washington, and I came here in 1988 to go to Berklee College of Music, which I did. Graduated. That's just where I met you, actually.
It's
It's where I met Jim. And then I graduated in 92. A couple months after that, I met the woman that that became my wife. And this September 17th, yes, I do remember the date, is going to be our 26th anniversary.
26, how about that? Huh? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's not that easy, you know, like.
No, it's not. No, I'm impossible to live with. So just ask her.
Can't you sing your way out of it? You know, sing like a love song or
Well,
something
you
like
know, that only goes so far after 26 years, you know. So.
Well, you play the sax, obviously,
Yeah.
very, very well, and you also sing. So
Yeah.
tell me about the vocals. Is this something that you always wanted to do when you were a kid and stuff?
Well, the vocals kind of happened because I was playing in bands, and the guys was like, the leader was like, "Hey, could you sing background on this?" And I'm like, "Sure, okay, sure, no problem." And then, "Can you sing background on these other ones, this other songs?" "Sure." And then, he's like, "Can you sing lead on this?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then it just kind of developed, you know, I mean, I've been singing along with records, you know, all my life, Beatles records, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, Earth, Wind and Fire, stuff like that. But I didn't study it like at Berklee like I did the saxophone, but it just sort of happened. So.
What was it about the saxophone that really turned you on? Kind
Oh,
of
wow. Both my parents were big jazz fans, and my dad in particular really loved the saxophone. Like Stan Getz, Charlie Parker, John Coltrane, people like that. So it was always kind of it was always playing in the house. In the background, we're doing something else, you know, and it's just kind of like it got stuck in my ear. And after failing at drums, piano, and trumpet consecutively, my parents were like, "Okay, the saxophone is the last chance." And so I wasn't about to screw it up, but I just took to it from the first lesson.
See, that's great. Now, how did you meet Joaquin Santos, who I'd like to say we're related, but we're not. But Joaquin Santos.
Joaquin, I was like, "Who's Jacome?"
Yeah. I didn't, how could I not
That's
say
his
that?
evil twin.
That's how could I have blown his first name like that?
How did I meet him?
Yes.
I met him through a mutual musician friend, keyboard player named Frank Wilkins. And the first time I met Joaquin was I played with him down at Cork restaurant down on the waterfront, which used to do like the first Fridays or something like that. And and I've just been playing with him off and on ever since. And I played the Wamsutta Club, I played the Pier, the Harbor Hotel, just different places all around town. And the first night I played with Joaquin, it was like huge amounts of people came to the game, and they were all into the music, which is great because you can attest to this. When you play in Boston, you play clubs in Boston and stuff, and then it's like, you know, you're playing your heart out, you just burying your soul in the song, and you get done, and it's like, what's this going on the saxophone?
Oh, man.
But down here, everyone just really digs music, and it's really fun to come down and play because, you know, and I made friends down here.
Right, you enjoy coming to New Bedford.
I love coming to New Bedford because everyone's so nice.
Yeah.
Everyone I met is really cool, you know.
How about Jim? Let's learn a little bit about you. Where are you from originally?
Marlborough, Mass. Went to Berkeley as well, just like Pat. And Pat and I actually established a professional relationship by working in a band called The Search Party, which is still going these
What up,
days.
Charlie
Hey,
Hunt?
Charlie. Search Party in the house. And then, over the many years, I won't say how many.
Let's not.
Just a couple of years it's been since Berkeley. I've kind of gone off in the world and done a few things here and there with my own career, and came back to New England, and Pat's been gracious enough to invite me on all of his endeavors here, and it's been wonderful.
This guy's so good. I got to practice just to keep up. Okay?
Yeah, right.
I'm serious, man. It's a monster.
Yeah, well, they don't usually have like a whole keyboard up here like this, so I started setting them up. Like,
Well,
these guys
nothing
are,
but the best for the Paul Santos.
yeah, well, thank you very much.
You mean that.
All right, you're going to do another song for us called Georgia on My Mind. This is a classic. I can't wait for this one. Once again, along with Jim Dower. Pat Loomis, how you doing? Oh, God.
Yeah, all right, man.
One more time, Jim Dower and Pat Loomis. Right here. Thanks a lot for coming down from Boston. We really appreciate it. All right, well, our next guests are big supporters of our show, which we appreciate. We're supporters of them, too. They are true entertainers, and they're going to kick it off right now with an original called Duck and Cover. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the NB Rude Boys. Yeah.
All right.
Woo, 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 woo.
Out in the club last night, Rude Boy was ranking. Saw a two-tone beauty, lady was skanking. So I ordered a shot. I started walking over, and I spotted my girl walking in. She caught her Casanova. Oh no! Duck and cover, duck and cover. Rude Boy almost got caught macking on another. So I grabbed my girl, took her to the table, and I caught that glance on the two-tone. She's willing and able. So I ordered a shot, tucking over. Then I caught that glance, tucking later. Gonna save that shit for later. Duck and cover, duck and cover. Rude Boy almost got caught macking on another. Well, duck and cover, duck and cover. One more time on the leash and she'll leave you for another. Well, duck and cover, Rude Boy, duck and cover. Once you see your lover, you know you got another. When you're duck and cover, Rude Boy, duck and cover. Once you come on over, you know you're gonna love her. Oh, duck and cover, Rude Boy, duck and cover. One time you like, I know you wanna come nice again. You're Rude Boy, you know you want to. You take, you look, you're coming over, now you're duck and cover. Duck and cover. Rude Boy almost got caught macking on another. Well, duck and cover.
Yeah.
Duck and cover. One more time on the leash and she'll leave you for another. Rude Boys, New Bedford, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Our hometown. Rocking like no other. Mr. Paul Santos, Chops Turner, where are you?
Yeah.
Where are you, Chops Turner? Josh Sousa in the back, man on the boards, man. We got to love it when Josh Sousa's duck and cover, and you're duck and cover. Rude Boys duck and cover. Once you get a lover, you know you can't forget her. Thank you.
Yeah, duck and cover. Yeah. You know, I wanted to blend right in there.
Nice. There
I
we
was
go.
feeling it. I was feeling it.
Oh, looking good.
Yeah, you know, I gotta, you know.
You got that Rude Boy vibe. I'm telling you. You
Hey,
do.
people can't see. Can you put your foot up on the table? I see the way your tie and your socks match over here. Look at that. Oh, you can't. What? The socks.
Very coordinated.
Wow, this guy is
He's a
sexy,
rude boy.
sexy baby, sexy. I'll tell you that right now.
Stop it.
All right. Hey, Florida's checking in tonight. Our friend Laurie Ann in Florida. Hello to you. Hello
Hi,
to Fall
Laurie.
River. Marlena Johnson, who was on the show. Another great
Marlena.
musician. Another great musician on the show
One of my
tonight.
favorite
Yeah, she
musicians
is.
in the area.
She is fantastic. All right, so Sean, tell me about this whole ska music thing, because I know you explained to me one time. You guys really get into the ska music, and it is something that's a little different, but it's so catchy.
It is, and you know, it's something that I've been a fan of for a while. You know, and I first caught on to it in the early '80s with artists that were, you know, early MTV. They were really pioneers for many genres of music. But I remember them playing the Specials. Early Police had that ska vibe, and my boy Rick here, he gave me a call 2 years ago, and he's like, "Do you like ska?" And I'm like, "I do. You know, I'm not all that familiar with it." Now, Rick gave me a little history on that. I mean, when did it really start picking up, Rick?
Well, ska music really started in the early 60s in Jamaica as a form of music that people, the way they explain it, they heard the blues and all this coming from the United States on the radio, and they kind of adopted it to their own style, and they came up with the ska beat and the ska rhythm. And so ska actually predates reggae. A lot of people think ska came out of reggae, but ska actually predates reggae. And the Rude Boys, back in Jamaica in the 60s, the Rude Boys were the guys that came in to the clubs and the dance halls, and they came in, they were sharply dressed, and they were gangster type guys.
Yeah.
And so the Rude Boys have always been part of ska, and then ska has had several reincarnations, like Sean mentioned, in the early 80s, and then in the 90s, and now it's coming back again. Bands like the Interrupters are very popular, and so ska's here to stay, and we're going to make sure it does, right, boys?
And you're bringing it to New Bedford, you have been
That's
the
right.
last year or so. Now, what's the secret name this gentleman is going by today?
Nestor McIntosh.
Yes, Mr. McIntosh.
Nestor McIntosh.
I think that's an AKA something or other or something or other. And we got a Rick Rude back there, and we
Rick
got Sean
Rude on the
Fitzgerald over
bass,
here.
man.
Yeah, and Rick Rude, you know, I don't know, there's a guy that looks a lot like you that goes by Rick O'Toole.
Oh yeah, Richie O'Toole. He's
Yeah,
my long lost brother.
Yeah, it's some
Plays in an Irish band.
yeah, I don't know what that's all about, but
We've heard that, yeah. I see a doppelganger, I think, right?
yeah.
all right. So the Rude Boys are going to NB Rude Boys, that is, are going to play another song for us, which is going to be a lot of fun. So once again, here they are, the NB Rude Boys.
All right.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
This song here is
Yeah.
classic ska, old school ska. 2, 3, 4.
Tell me, baby, you're hugging up a big monkey man. Ay, 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 ay. Tell me, baby, you're hugging up a big monkey man. I never saw you, I only heard of you. Hugging up a big monkey man. I never saw you, I only heard of you. Hugging up a big monkey man. It's no lie, it's no lie. Have me down there hugging up a big monkey man. It's no lie, it's no lie. Them a talking about hugging up a big monkey man. Now I know that, now I heard of you. You're hunting a monkey on me. Now I know that, so now I understand. You're hugging a monkey on me. Ay, 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 ay. Yeah, baby, you're hugging a monkey on ya. Ay, 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 ay. Tell me, baby, you're hugging up a big monkey man. We are the NB Rude Boys.
Yeah, that's right. The NB Rude Boys again, right here on the Paul Santos Show. Hey, we're looking out here in the audience. We've got people from Florida. Hello to Stephen watching in Connecticut tonight. You guys.
Steven, you owe me $5.
Is that Steve from Connecticut?
That's the other Steve.
Julio Tavares says hello tonight.
Julio Tavares.
Kevin Hool, Mary
Kevin
Lou.
Hool, what's going on? How are you?
You get a lot of fans here tonight.
Yes, yes, we do.
I wasn't the only one that said you guys were sexy. Somebody else in here,
Who?
I think, said that you were sexy. Yeah, I'll have to let you
Was
know.
it Kevin
after.
Hool? Because he's a sexy,
Was it Trevor Kellum?
sexy mofo.
Sexy devil, you know.
sexy.
Well, you guys talked about the gigs, you know, obviously going through COVID-19 has hit musicians as hard or maybe even harder than others. So to have some of the gigs coming back now, I mean, you guys must be so happy about that. What's
Yeah.
that like, having gone through this, like you can't play anywhere?
It is pretty much like just having your legs, taken out from underneath
Yeah.
you, really, especially people who are full-time musicians. Nestor is one of those folks. That's his livelihood. Rick and I, we do this, on the side. We've got a number of friends who, they're really in a tough bind, and it's disconcerting to see a lot of the relief packages and the aid that's talked about right now. Musicians are, again, being left off the table, and we're actually trying to get a group of lobbyists together to go to Beacon Hill and really speak on that because, what do people do in the middle of quarantine, right? They watch movies, they listen to music, the arts, and, those are things that are really being starved right now.
Yeah, right.
Not just due to COVID, but in general. And, I think that we're trying to keep an open mind. We're trying to create gigs as well. You know, we've been fortunate. We've got the Seaport Grill. They've been having live bands for about a month now. New Bedford recently, they hopped on board. They're having live entertainment. So we've got great venues like the Airport Grill. They're having super bands like Band Inc., Pat Loomis, I'm sorry, Jimmy was his keyboard.
Yeah. See, you're doing it because I screwed it up.
Hey, Jimmy Loomis is on.
You know, Knuckleheads, they're having outdoor music
Yeah.
as well. So, you know, it's coming back, and we're trying to create ways to bring music to people, too. You know, everyone's doing the virtual thing before this live music.
Right.
We've got something lined up. It's kind of hush-hush. Should we mention that, what we're going to be doing?
Top secret.
Top secret.
Wait a minute, you could break it right here on the Paul Santos show, you know?
That'll be on our third.
That's the third installation for you. Maybe beginning of October.
Oh, all right, okay, all right.
Yeah, we have something. It's Hush Hush. We're looking to do that in October, probably around Columbus Day weekend. And we'd like to kind of break the news, you know, online, but
That'd be
a lot of
great.
details.
So we're looking forward to that. That's not that far from now.
No, it's not. And we can have a select small group too. So we hope that you will join us, Paul.
Absolutely, I will.
And if Chops isn't, you know, out in where is he?
He's in New Hampshire.
He's in New Hampshire.
This is the first show he missed tonight, and I'm like,
Somebody
out of
told
all
me-
the shows to miss, he misses the Rude Boys and Pat
I
Loomis.
know, we wanted him to sing with us.
See, but when he called me, it said Tijuana.
No, it said marijuana. No, that's all right. No, anyway.
But you know, Paul, we wanted to, you know, we appreciate your support too.
Yes.
You've had us on. This is our second time. You actually last summer, our first show here in New Bedford, our first headlining show. You were kind enough to come down and do an interview, and you know, you've been strong supporters of ours, and you basically, we took a vote this week, and you're an honorary Rude Boy, and we'd like to present you with this.
Oh, look at this, huh? Oh, yeah, look at Thank you very much. Look at that, huh? Wow.
Rude boy.
I'm a time traveler, so I just jumped into where
Hey,
Paul is. I teleported ahead, and I gave him that T-shirt.
Hey, thank you very much. Well, you know, here's the thing, right? Here's our thought here. When we started doing this, we're like, you know, people tend to go on social media and sometimes they give opinions and, you know, there's all that, you know, political stuff and disagreement. So we thought, you know what, let's put all that aside. There's so much talent in the area. That's why we say the talent and interesting and entertaining. There's so many talent in the area. Like, I call people up and I'm like, this person and that person and that. Next thing you know, I got 10 people that I want to get on.
Yeah.
Because they're everywhere, but they don't get any kind of, you know, boom or bust or anything, you know.
Unless they make it themselves. They don't.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
we really, you know, you're a very popular cat with a lot of the entertainers and
Well, I'm
artists.
glad
and
to hear
musicians
that.
Here because
I'm glad to hear
you're
that.
featuring us. You know, no one else is really doing that. So
Now, you have one more song that you want to do, right?
we do. But
Is that
before
under
we
the-
do that,
All right,
we thought, you know, we said that we're gonna have some fun tonight. So we partnered up with Red Stripe, and we've got our own Rude Boy Brew.
Is that an alcoholic beverage?
It is.
In some states.
Paul, that's for you. I don't know if Josh, if you're drinking this evening, but we have one for you.
See if I can open. You got an opener? Or are you going to be like a... I'm not,
This isn't live.
I'm not a
right?
manly man.
We can play this back later,
No,
right?
we are. This is live. There we go. You notice how Josh, the producer, is like carrying one of those things around with him?
Yeah, right at the
Red
ready.
Stripe, man.
Let me try. I've never drank on the air before. This is
You
the
never
first time.
have?
No, I never
First for
have.
everything.
You know, we have standards
Well,
here.
the first
except
rule
for,
is you always turn the label towards the...
yeah, like,
MB Rude Boys.
And be Rude Brew.
I have standards I try to meet, but I threw them out tonight.
So here we are on the Paul Santos show, getting them loaded. It's
Somebody
great.
said they wanted to hear like a Bob Marley type sound. Is that what
right,
that?
all right, all
Is that what that
We can
is?
do that.
Is Pat Loomis still here?
No, no.
Hoping he can maybe.
But you can do the song that you were prepared to do, right?
All right.
All right, so let's hear it. The Rude Boys again, right? The NB Rude Boys. I'm gonna have a drink. Thank you very much. Just like I'm at a bar, you know? It's great.
Yeah.
We're jamming. I wanna jam it with you. We're jamming. And I hope you like jamming too. Ain't no room, ain't no fight. We can do it anyhow. I will see you through. 'Cause every day pay the price with a long sacrifice. Jump now till the jamming's through. Yeah, we're jamming. I think that jamming was a thing of the past. We're jamming. I hope this jam is gonna all creation, yeah, we're jamming. I wanna jam it with you. We're jamming, 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 we're jamming up like jamming too. Ooh yeah.
Yeah.
And be rude boy.
Oh, yeah.
We're jamming.
We're jamming, man.
Yeah. Rude boys. All right. Our viewer in Florida is very happy that you really like that one.
Excellent.
So good for
Awesome.
you. Yeah,
Thank
you know,
you.
we're coast to coast here, and
Love
East Beach to West Beach usually, but north, south, east, and west. Anyway, I just wanted to put. I'm feeling good now. See,
Nice.
you
Look at
know,
you.
during the day wearing that stuffy blazer like Rick does, with a day job. I put this thing on. I got the drink here.
Yeah, a rude boy.
Yeah,
Very rude and
I'm
everything.
feeling rude.
Nice. Sweet.
By the way, Sean, I'm a little bit older than you, but not a lot older than you. And I see you as the front man, right? And you're jumping around and you're going here and you're jumping and jumping and running and jumping and running, And I'm thinking to myself, man, I'd be like really sore the next day if I was doing that. I mean, you do that with no problem, right?
Well, I do it with not many problems, but then the next day there are many problems. There's swelling, and as we get older, it takes a while to recuperate. That's why I see, when you see artists like, old timers like Mick Jagger.
Yeah, I was going to say Jagger. He still dances.
But I mean, he has a strict regimen too. He's still alive, yeah, through stem cell research, yeah.
Except he only weighs 100 pounds, so
But I mean, you can tell. I mean, that he keeps himself in shape.
Yeah, right.
and you have to back in the day, it was all about whipping it up and having drinks and getting messed up, but you can't continue, you can't perform well if you're doing that, and so.
Unless your name is Keith Richards.
Right, which he's just immortal.
yeah.
So it's a matter of trying to fight off Father Time and eat right and not overindulge in things, and really the music kind of takes over too. And whenever you go and see a band, you want to be entertained, so.
Absolutely.
The first band I was in, real short, nobody knew how to play anything, so they told me, when you get up there, just try to do whatever you can to take attention off the fact that we don't know what we're doing. So ever since then, that's pretty much what it's just.
Oh, no wonder that you guys are a big hit.
But now these guys that are really
That's
good.
your secret.
and I just can't stop, I like to entertain.
Hey, well, I'm glad to see that, you guys who are musicians are getting more gigs. Hopefully we can get past this pandemic at some point and get back to some semblance of normal, because, you take it for granted what you can do. You just go out and, have a drink and watch a band, and all of a sudden you can't do it. And it's like, what do you mean I can't do it? Like, you take it for granted.
Right.
All right, well, I really appreciate you guys coming down. It really is a lot of fun having you here. You guys bring a lot of
coming
energy
down,
and a
Paul.
lot of
Really
fun,
do.
and we'll definitely have you back again.
right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the NB Rude Boys.
Thank you for having us.
All right. All right, I'd like to thank our guest, Pat Loomis, the great saxophonist and the NB Rude Boy, director and producers Josh Souza and Justin Pereira, and of course the Chops, wherever you are. He'll be back next week. Thank you very much. I'm Paul. Good night.